before we went live, and we are live. Good morning. Welcome to the Seller House Wholesale Real Estate Training number 76 on Wednesday, January 28th, 2015. I am attempting to put a Q&A availability, but no, it is disabled. So not going to go there this morning. But what I am going to go is I'm going to go over to John and say, hey, what's happening there, brother?
Good morning, Paul. Yeah, that's too bad. We were trying to enable a feature that Google Hangouts has that would allow for people watching to type in comments while we're talking live here so that if anybody had some questions or comments, we could respond. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, Google Hangouts wants to be a little bit of a pain in the rump, which does often happen with the Google Hangouts. But beyond that, it's bright, sunny, beautiful day. Is it? I don't know. Yeah, it is. I really spoke out of turn there because I haven't even really looked outside. But it feels like a bright, sunny day. It's Wednesday. What is today already? The 29th? 28th?
8.
28th. And well, we're essentially done with the first month of the year. It's unbelievable how fast time moves. And we're already halfway through the week. Another unbelievable thing. Time keeps moving. So if you're not taking action daily, continuously, persistently, well, you'll eventually run out of time, I suppose. So good morning, Paul. Welcome to the SellerHouseArizona.com Hangout. We are the Property Noodlers, and I am the Master Noodler. So good morning, or good day, everybody.
Well, we all do run out of time eventually, which is why you should consider time as your number one most precious and valuable commodity. And if you don't consider your time as such, what do you have? I mean, if you don't consider your time as your most valuable and precious commodity, I can't even imagine what you would replace that with. Consider your job now, and how much time do you devote to your job, and what is someone else placed as the value of your time on you. You haven't said it. Someone else has placed this value upon you, said you're only worthy of what? $10 an hour? Your hour, your time, 1 hour of your time is only worthy of $10. $20 I mean, how many people could you ask out there in the street today, hey, is $20 an hour a good job? Would you like to have a $20 an hour job right now? But really, is your time is only worthy of $20? 1 hour of your time? I consider my time worthy of a lot more than just $20 for an hour of it. I'll tell you that right now. I mean, $50 an hour. How many people would like to have a job at $50 an hour, right? I bet you go out in the street, and I'll bet you 95 out of 100 people that you walk up to would say, I'd love to have a job paying, but probably more like 99 actually, because $50 an hour, wouldn't that enter you into the 1%, John? Why don't you do the math on that real quick? $50 an hour, where does that put you?
Oh, okay. Let's see.
So realistically, yeah, $50 an hour. You'd love to have a job making $50 an hour. Is your time worth $50 an hour? Is an hour of your time worthy of $50, or is it worthy of more? Personally, I still say my time is worthy of more than $50 for an hour, because $50 an hour would give me, for an 8-hour day, what, $400 for the day?
$400 for the day, and that would be about $104,000 a year if you worked, 40 hours a week for 52 weeks out of the year, no vacation, or you have a job, maybe it pays you a 2-week vacation. So you get 2 weeks paid vacation each year, but that's $104,000 a year.
So not even near approaching the 1% of earners for Arizona. I'll tell you what, that's if you want to be living life the way you want to live life, apparently you need to be in the 1% of earners. And realistically, the value of 1% earners in Arizona, I think actually that would legitimately be a comfortable life. I think that you could live at that level without any issues. I mean, even if you lived on half of that, would that be enough, really, John? Would you think so? Would half of that number be enough to really have a comfortable life, or would there still be, lack of desire, want, and achievement?
Well, let's use the number. It's interesting because I read this article yesterday. The 1% earners in Arizona earn $300,000 a year. So if you live in Arizona, you earn more than $300,000 a year. Guess what? You're the 1%. You're the one that the Occupy Wall Street people are so pissed off about. Does that surprise you? That that's actually the dollar amount? It surprised me. I would have thought it was a lot more. And you know what? $300,000 a year to earn that kind of income isn't as difficult as people think it is. It's actually a number that people can attain with a little bit of application, knowledge, know-how, and a vehicle for creating wealth that's outside of their job. Working hourly, I don't think you're going to hit that. That would be actually you'd have to be earning $150 an hour at a job in order to be in the 1% of earners. Now there are people that are obviously doing that, maybe very high-end corporate lawyers, CEOs, but the statistic I want to pull up is how many of those 1% earners are business owners, and I bet you probably 99% of them are business owners. That's my guess, though. I'm not sure, but if you lived on half that, $150,000 a year, yeah, I'd say that would be very comfortable for most people because that means the other 99% are making less than $300,000 a year. I would say, at least looking around, probably 98% of the people in Arizona make less than six figures. I don't know that for sure, but I'm going to look in that statistic so we can have that on Friday, but I bet you that that's the case. But could you live comfortably off of half of being in the 1%? I think really anybody could, but unless you're constantly building your streams of passive income and reinvesting the money you make, you're going to retire like everybody else, like with on half your income. Because you know as well as I do, Paul, that if someone's earning $150,000, what are they going to end up doing? They're going to have a bigger house with a larger payment. They're going to have a fancier car. They're going to probably send their kids, good for them, to a little bit better of a private school. But you know what's funny? And I learned this from my life insurance guy that I got my life insurance policy from. That do you know what the average person has left to put into savings at the end of a month? And this is the average of all people in all income brackets, from the guy who makes $10 an hour to the 1% earner who earns $150 an hour. What do you think? And this is funny because this number works out for people across all ranges. What do you think people have left at the end of a month? Do you know the answer to this one already, Paul?
I'll say 100, but I'm thinking something without a one in it.
You're absolutely right. The average person has left at the end of a month, and this goes across all income earning brackets, $9. That's the average money people have left to actually save. So if you're earning, let's just say you are the 1%, are you doing things with your money, or are you doing things with your lifestyle that's saving you a lot more than $9 a month? I hope so. I certainly hope so. Because, it's not just about having the ability to earn cash, but it's about building streams of passive residual income so that you can retire not on a pension or a 401k, but that you have some means of passive income, some cash flow, rental real estate, perhaps an income producing website, or you've got yourself involved with network marketing and you have a downline, so you have a organization that's paying you monthly. I mean, there's a lot of options for it. I mean, selling life insurance policies and having a residual each year. But that's something that I think people need to get in their mindset. It's not just about flipping houses. You know, one of the great things about wholesale real estate is we can teach you how to flip houses. But what you really should be aiming for is the ability to
Build
use
wealth.
the extra money that you're earning from flipping homes and begin developing a portfolio of rental real estate. Or one of the things I'm really actually excited about nowadays is owning cash flowing websites, because it's virtual real estate without the maintenance, without the tenants. So that's another exciting area we could talk about in a future hangout. But that's my thoughts on that.
Yeah, how would you like to own property without tenants and toilets? Income, income. How would you like to own income producing properties without tenants and toilets? There you go. That's a winner to me. Uh, so the 1% earn $25,000 a month. So does that mean that the 50% earn $1,250 a month, and that the 25% earn $6,250 a month, and that the 12.5% earn, 3,125 a month? Does that sound about right? Or is it actually misproportioned from here, with the 1% having 25,000 a month, more like the what, 5% earning 12.5 a month, or maybe the 10% earning 12.5 a month, and maybe 15 or 20% earning 6,500 a month, and maybe the 25 to 30% earning 3,000 a month, meaning that 70% of the people out there are earning less than $3,000 a month, and that's a fact. You know what? My sister just got a big promotion, got a $5 an hour raise on this promotion, and I mean that's huge. How many people get a $5 an hour raise, right? Um, yeah, and she barely earns that $3,000 a month after a $5 an hour raise. And most people are out there bucking their boss, hoping to maybe get a buck raise, right? It's not enough money. That's kind of where I'm trying to get at. Is it's not enough money. $20 an hour. She got up right around $20 an hour. And I was thinking about that. My mom was all excited, telling me about, she's finally going to be able to, you know, start living a better life and these sorts of things. And it hit me all of a sudden. I went, $20 an hour, 1 hour of my time for a $20 bill that now I can take to the store. And what can I buy with a $20 bill? Half a gallon of milk, a dozen eggs, a small brick of cheese, a loaf of bread, and maybe one stick of butter. And that's what I get to live off of. $20. That ain't very much. For an hour of my time, I want a freaking steak dinner with all the fixings. Okay? I mean, isn't that fair enough? For 1 hour of my time, I get a steak dinner with all the fixings. For another hour of my time, maybe, I get a tank full of gas. For another hour of my time, maybe I get, all my bills paid. For another hour of my time, maybe I've got at least half my rent or mortgage paid. For another hour of my time, I would say all of it, to be quite honest with you. For another hour of my time, for 8 hours in a day, you should pretty much be able to cover your expenses within one day's work. That's the way I see it. I don't know. I just that $9 at the end of the month savings thing blows my mind. It doesn't really blow my mind, honestly, but the fact of the matter is, what John was about to say there is that it doesn't matter how much money. My mom's all excited that my sister just got a $5 an hour raise. She's going to be able to, start living a better life. And I can guarantee you what she's going to run out and start doing is start spending more money. her better life is going to feel better. She's going to have a few more groceries in the fridge. She's probably going to go out and not quite sure what her car's like, but she'll probably run out and trade in her car and take on a bigger payment because she's got that extra money at the end of the month. I mean, all that extra money at the end of the month, $5 an hour at the end of the month, that's what, 40? That's 40 times 5,
800.
$800 a month. You can do a lot with $800 a month, and you divvy it out to extra food in the fridge and a better a bigger car payment. Um, you know, I don't know whatever else you're going to divvy out the money to, but still,
Hey,
huh?
I was going to say, give her my phone number. I'll set her up with a whole life insurance policy that will actually earn her a return and put it into that.
Well, I mean, that's the
The point
thing.
being that Paul's trying to make, I think, there is that most people they'll get that raise and they'll go and they'll figure out some way to piss it away and still have $9 left at the end of the month rather than investing it in something that could build their future retirement. But the problem with a job in anyways is you have a cap on your income. She just got a $5 raise, which is a good thing. I'm not poo-pooing that, but just saying like, how long is it going to be? That's another raise. Yeah,
That's
I mean,
exactly it. That's exactly it right there. Okay, great. $5 an hour raise went from 14 to 19 bucks an hour or whatever it was, 15 to 20 bucks an hour, whatever it was. Guess when your next raise is coming? Probably about the time you freaking celebrate your birthday of the next decade.
it's true. And you know what? You're capped, and that's not good enough for me. And quite frankly, I don't think that's good enough for anybody that's watching this hangout. And like we talked about on Monday, I had a great conversation over the weekend with a girl, Tina, that I was training to join the Noodler team here. And what I loved about her was her enthusiasm and motivation, but also the understanding that her husband has a really good job as a corrections officer at a local jail here. They've got benefits, health, and they've got all their expenses paid. I mean, he makes pretty good money, but they both know that it's kind of a dead end. That, like, at the end of the day, it's really not getting them closer to retirement, not building the life they really want, not affording them the time that they really want. So there's got to be an alternative. And this gal happened to choose real estate as that vehicle, and I applaud her for that, and I applaud her for having the mindset to step out of that box and that comfort zone and realize that a job is, I don't care how good it is, when you're getting paid an hourly wage, you have now capped your salary, and you literally let another person put value on your time. Don't you
Yeah,
value
how
yourself
many
a little
people
bit more?
how many people out there do you think have realistically have the willpower to take their earnings, whatever it is, if it's two people or one people combined earnings, and live off of the meagerest of, you know, surroundings and everything. And I mean, literally live in the cheapest little freaking dinky apartment that you can find, skimp on, you know, every little morsel of food that you can eat just enough to keep yourself alive and energetic enough to continue working. Take the bus or ride the bicycle or do whatever you can do to avoid driving the vehicle and spending the gasoline. Take the risk of not having any insurances whatsoever of any kind, and get out there and earn that money that you can make, so that you can save up enough of it in probably, I mean, really, I mean, how much could you actually save? And to save up enough of it in the course of about like living like that for like probably at least 10 years before you could even make any kind of a decent investment to get some sort of a return, that you could really start building upon your investment, so that within another 10 years, maybe 20 years down the road, you can actually turn it all around and really start living life, a free life, because you have the income coming in. Maybe you're still working your job, but now you can eat, now you can drive to work, now you can do all these things because of the other income that you've created. How many people have the willpower to live that kind of a life for that long of a period of time, to get ahead in your job, because that's what it takes. If you're going to do this through a job, that's the kind of commitment and sacrifice you're going to have to make if you want to eventually someday realize the dream of freedom.
Absolutely. And you know what? If that's the path you're choosing, you better make sure you love your job. If you hate your job, and this is what gets me, and I've been unemployed, I've been proudly, happily unemployed and not on welfare for the last 10 years. Because there's one thing that I never understand. People will literally selling the hours of their day to do something that they complain about, that they dread when they wake up on New Op Day. When they wake up on New Op Day, all they're thinking about is Friday. And then Friday comes, and they piss away their weekend. And all they do on Sunday is dread the following day. I know so many people like that, and I don't want to even really hang around people like that anymore. Because, you become what you surround yourself with. So if you're surrounded by, think about the people that you surround yourself with. And, this may sound harsh, but what kind of life is that? You're selling away the hours of your day to do something that you dread. You spend the whole week waiting for the week to end. That you don't value your time. You're spending your time doing something you dread, waiting for the week to end so you can have one day of fun on Saturday. Because like everybody else, you spend Sunday dreading the awful Monday, and don't think of it as the New Op Day that it is.
Exactly.
So I hope that I don't feel that's anybody who's probably on this hangout. In fact, for the people that are watching this hangout that are on our team or getting involved in wholesale real estate, they've already figured this out, and this is nothing more than a preaching to the choir. But for me, when I think about that, when I think about these things that Paul and I are talking about, it motivates me to say, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to live my life different than the 98%. I'm going to teach my kids different than what they're learning in school about going out and getting a good job. I'm going to foster my kids' creativity and their ability to be entrepreneurs and teach them about helping people and that it's okay to earn a profit by helping people, because after all, that's what an entrepreneur is. So, it's a mindset thing, and we don't want to be those people. We don't want to be those people that we want to embrace and enjoy what we're doing every minute of every day. Because if we're doing things we dislike, we're prostituting ourselves. We're pissing away the hours of our day for what?
Yeah.
$20 an hour?
I apologize for our unabashed use of this hangout to come here and motivate ourselves. but public service announcement. But hey, you know what? Hopefully you're getting a little bit out of it too, because seriously, this is something that you definitely want to, you got to light that fire under yourself to get out there and do that. I had something else I was going to throw in there, but I just got so. It's funny because a little test that I did to try to better my speaking skills and things like that. I learned in that process that when I break out in laughter, I oftentimes lose my train of thought completely. I don't know what that is, but which just happened here. So anyway, John, help me out.
Like Paul said, we apologize for the unabashed self-motivational topic of today, but I feel that this is something a lot of people do kind of need to hear. I mean, we don't want to be trapped in a life we hate. We want to own our life, create our own life, have time to do the things we want to do, and from there, besides just having the time, we want to have the money to do the things we enjoy. And if we're going to, if there's nothing wrong with the job, you have to go out and earn a living. But if you're going to commit the next 30, 40 years of your life to something, it better be something that you like, that not just like doing, but love doing. Why commit yourself to something that you dread? And, with that being said, I mean, that's kind of my final thought today is like, You know, if you're going to commit your life to doing something, make that commitment about.
All right.
And he could kind of give his final thought and lead us out of here.
My final thought is I think you're right. I think I'm gonna have to finally break down and get some internet service here. uh, you just buzzed out on that last little piece there, and I have no idea what you said beyond.
It was kind of cool, dude. Like, no one else on the Hangout saw it, but your screen froze, and you had just this big, giant, cheesy, shit-eating grin on your face that just froze on my screen for like 15 seconds. It was awesome.
Well, hey, that's a good thing because come here to get ourselves motivated, and part of motivation is making yourself happy and being happy throughout the day because that's what it's all about. That's where you have achieved freedom. If you aren't feeling happy all day long because you're dredging away at your job, then you aren't achieving any freedom whatsoever. So I just want to say that the job thing, look at it, think about it, and at the very least, consider when that paycheck comes in, why are you paying everybody else first? Why are you giving all your money away that you just traded your time for? Why aren't you giving yourself any of that money first? Pay yourself first. Figure out what that savings amount could be. Figure out that you don't really have to have 197 channels on the television. Maybe you could probably cut it down to 120 and you probably wouldn't miss a dang thing. You know what I mean?
Cut
There's
it
an
down to zero, for Christ's sake. I haven't watched TV in years. It's nuts.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe you can cut down on a little bit of texting time or Candy Crush time or whatever it is that's using up your data, and you can shrink your data package a little bit. Maybe you could actually figure out that hey, every Monday I could ride the bus to work, or you know what, it ain't that dang far. I need a little exercise to work some of this jelly off my belly, and I'm going to ride the bicycle to work every Monday morning. What the heck, whatever it is, trim the fat a little bit. Find some places where you've got a little extra cash and pay yourself that money. And then when you pay yourself that money, put it in an account somewhere where you will not touch it so that you can eventually use it to create more money. Use the money to create money. That's where the difference lies. Anyway, I'm just going to get out of here today with the Napoleon Hill prayer, which goes, "O universe, I ask not for more riches, but for more wisdom with which to make better use of the riches given to me at birth, consisting of the power to control and direct my own mind to whatever end I might desire." No real estate today, guys. We promised to, I sent out a message that if you want to know if you want to know where to find those great deals, that photo of that fixer-upper house, if you want to know where to find them, well, we kind of put it out there today that the place to find those is right up here, and that's where it starts, and it ends with the Noodler program. So send us an email and bring your new thought processes and join us on the team and start finding those great deals. That's it.